Welcome into today's podcast, right here at the Cog Hill 40. Peaches wouldn't let Nugget into the canned ham for this episode, so here's Jason and Brooke. Johnny Carson didn't have nothing on these folks.
What is happening, Cog Squad? This is another episode of the Cogcast podcast coming at you from the beautiful Cog Hill 40. The weather has been unbelievable these last 3 days.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Yes, it has. It's quite a change this week. You kind of get down in the dumps when it rains for so long, but then it's a breath of fresh air when it does take a turn, and it's sunny for several days, and that's what we're into right now.
Got the air conditioner on this morning in the can.
Going full blast. I was just thinking, I hope that thing is turned down pretty low because it's warm outside.
Yeah, I think I got it set on 72.
Well, we might have to adjust that as the hour goes on. But you know what?
What's that?
I think I forgot how to do this podcast.
Yes, we're going. This will be a week since we didn't record one.
It's just crazy.
It is. We have been, well, of course, I got sick. Was number one. That knocked me out for 3 straight days.
Yes.
Then you had a migraine come on.
Yep.
And that knocked you out for
4 days.
Yeah. And then we had the huge event at the end of the week at Pedals from the Past, which was a 1-day event for Saturday for the meet and greet us, but it was a 2-day event for us because we all got together with our friends from, local friends and from other states that are YouTubers that we're friends with, and we had a big day on Friday where we all got together and hung out. Everybody but me. You were in the bed with a migraine.
Yeah. A lot of people might have wondered what kind of sickness you had.
Oh, yeah.
So, last Saturday morning, we knew that the sheetrockers were coming. They were supposed to start Monday.
Yeah, they were supposed to start Monday, but the people that were delivering the materials did not officially deliver the material until Wednesday or Thursday, right?
Yes. So that was a holdup. But you and I were hustling, bustling, trying to make sure everything was nailed down, literally, to make sure that the sheetrock could be hung, and we wouldn't have any regrets about covering something up we couldn't go back and uncover.
That's right.
Such as, TV mounting plugs, microwave plug, some things that weren't on the plans.
Right.
That we didn't think about until after the electricians were gone. We ended up, or Brent ended up building a little faux fireplace for your mom for her electric fireplace, and so the TV was going to be mounted up high, and so of course that's not in the plans, and so we figured out where the TV would go and put her a plug-in up there, and then we added a light to the extra bathroom that we added. Because that wasn't on the plans.
On the plans, and so we added it, so we had to put a light in that morning. And when we got through, I remember telling you that I was just exhausted. I was just so tired.
Well, the day before, which was Friday, Marycarl and I had to go, I guess we had to go to the hardware store or something because we stopped and got donuts.
Yes.
At a little local donut store. And we brought you some back.
That's right.
They were blueberry cake, which is like your favorite of all time.
That and sour cream, yep.
So I got you a couple of blueberry cakes and a sour cream, and you ate one of them Friday, and you saved the other one for Saturday.
Yep, Saturday morning.
So as we were preparing the last minute sheetrock touches, you told me that you wish you hadn't ate that donut.
Yeah, I just felt jittery, and I was just I was just tired. I didn't feel good. I was tired, but I didn't think I was getting sick. But I should have known better because I don't get sick that often.
Mm-mm.
It's so rare that I get sick, but when I do, it's usually I get so sleepy before, and then I get sick, and my body's like, look, slow down, rest, because something's not right. You got a bug or a virus. We call them bugs around here, but a virus. You're something's not right. We need to put this in slow motion here, and never, y'all. When I mean I never take a nap, I never take a nap. I'm like the Energizer Bunny, and so when I told you, I said I think I'm gonna have to lay down.
I told you, I said, go lay down. And I didn't think you were going to do it, but you went and laid down, and I had some things I had to take care of. The event that we had at,
Tracy from Just Dig It Farms had an event at her house.
Yes. Party in the protege is what we called it, or what she called it.
Yes. And so I was going to take care of the food.
Right.
So I had planned that day to run up to the Flying Peach to finalize all the details for the food. And I told you that I would take care of that. You to go lay down.
Right.
So Marycarl and I went over to the Flying Peach. We finalized all the details. Then we ended up going to town.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what all we did. I'm sure we went to Tractor Supply and a few other things. So it ended up being, a pretty good length of time that we were gone.
Yep.
Got back, and you were still sound asleep.
I was still crashing. And I woke up one time, and I could tell I was aching. Especially my knees start aching when I get a fever. That's the first thing that aches is both my knees start aching. And my knees are aching, and I told myself, I got a fever. I know I got a fever. And I think I had sent you a text and asked you where the thermometer was.
And that was my first indication that he was getting sick. Because it didn't occur to me, which it should have, before I left when he said he was tired, that he was getting sick.
Yep.
And it should have been an indication when you said you wish you hadn't ate that donut, because we never regret eating donuts.
Never regret eating donuts. So I checked my temp, and I think it was like 99 to something like that.
Yeah,
but
a little bit.
It was a little temperature, and I said I knew it. So I was still asleep, and I woke up
throughout the day.
I did. I woke up and checked it again, and it was 100. And I knew then, I'm full-fledged sick, and was very nauseated, and it was stomach related, and I thought to myself, could I got food poisoning from a donut? I don't think it. Now looking back, at first I thought it may have been food poisoning, but now looking back, food poisoning is usually very quick.
Yeah, and plus that we had the only thing you'd eaten was a donut.
Donut,
and then prior days there was nothing that we could relate back to that would have caused it.
No, and it was like I said, it was very gradual. Food poisoning is pretty quick, and I remember of all folks, my one of my best friends is Chef Scott Peacock, and he's a James Beard Award winning chef, and when it comes to anything food related, he's the first person I ask, and I sent him a text and I said, is it possible to get food poisoning from a donut?
Oh goodness. And
the first thing he asked me was, do they sell anything else besides donuts? And so I pulled up their menu, and they did. They sold like egg and sausage burritos or something like that. And he said they could have been cross-contaminated. Somebody didn't wash their hands real good from messing with the sausage, and it got on the donut.
You didn't tell me any of this.
But it was so slow that I knew, and it lasted so long. It was 3 days, and it put me out.
It did.
It really knocked me down big time.
So Marycarl and I stayed in one part of the camper while Jason was in the other part. Of course, he didn't want anything to eat, but I made sure that he had plenty to drink.
Yeah.
And there was a morning that I thought that he may be getting dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of knocked on the wall and needed me to come see about him.
I needed you to just support, because I didn't know if I would be able to. I was just weak. I was so weak. I didn't know if I could make it back to the bedroom. I didn't want to slip. I didn't want to fall. I didn't want to pass out.
And he was white.
Yeah.
I mean, his color was non-existent. And of course, I held my composure, and I said, "Look," "you need to take tiny, small sips of water," which he had been doing.
Which I'd been doing.
But with all the output that he was having.
Yeah.
As well as the fever, I was concerned that you may be getting dehydrated.
And it's from past. I was born with one kidney, and I did dehydrate one time many years ago with the flu.
Yes, and I was there.
And I did pass out for a second when they tried to draw my blood, and it wasn't because of drawing my blood. It's because I was dehydrated.
You had nothing left.
And I had nothing left in me. And that really, I remember the doctor, how scared he got.
Oh, yeah. It was like everybody in the kitchen sink came in to make sure that you were okay. And so, anyway, we always keep that in the back of our mind.
I have to be very, very careful, because number one, I have one kidney, so I can dehydrate really easily. But since have already dehydrated before in the past, that makes it me even more prone to dehydrate. So when I'm outside working or whatever, I'm constantly drinking lots of fluids. And I knew, and that's why if you look beside the bed, I probably had 6 empty bottles sitting there because I was just constantly just sipping on Sprites, for something different besides water or ginger ale or water. Yeah.
But that being said, we didn't know how much output was coming out versus the intake.
That's
so
right.
we were very careful, and lo and behold, you beat that bug, and you're back at them with full force.
I was, and when I was back, I was almost 100. I felt almost 100%. So it was pretty. It wasn't like a gradual. It was like felt bad for 3 days. On day 4, I felt pretty darn good.
I can remember when you were getting over it. You said to me that evening when you were feeling better, do you think that I'll be able to work tomorrow? And
I was ready to go.
This was Tuesday. This was Tuesday when you asked me that, because you were supposed to have a video out on Wednesday, and I said, you might be able to edit a video, but I'm not letting you go outside and work on that greenhouse or anything like that.
I was really wanting to work on the greenhouse so bad because I want to get it finished.
And I knew that's what you were asking without saying work, like you didn't indicate what kind of work, so I let you edit the video.
And it was you were right. You were absolutely right.
Well, you don't want to rush it.
And then when I went to go edit the video, the volume was absolutely
that was terrible.
And I'm pretty sure what it was is that the microphone wasn't plugged in all the way because the way it sounded. Because every time the microphone would move a little bit, it would make that popping noise. And if you saw the video, you heard it. And so now I'm making sure the mic's plugged in all the way.
But I will say this. Okay, so he got sick Saturday morning. Mm-hmm. Friday, he had the entire video from Monday recorded, finished.
Yeah, this was, had already recorded, which I never do.
This never happens. Yeah. We're last minute people.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's video, which will be Monday, will be recorded today, which is Sunday, and he will edit it until midnight tonight. Well, maybe not that long, but hopefully not that long. But that's what usually happens.
Yeah.
So to have a video done on Friday, and he was looking forward to having a relaxing weekend because he didn't have to record anything. All he had to do was edit. Mm-hmm. And then it was messed up.
Yeah, then I got sick. So.
No, then the volume was messed up.
Oh, then the volume was messed up. Yeah. Yep.
So Monday, Marycarl and I had to go over to Prattville and pick up the shower.
While I was in the bed.
While you were in the bed. We picked up the shower for our house, mine and Jason and Marycarl. We might let her live there. Marycarl's house. We had to pick that up. So Brent, who has been doing a wonderful job at framing the interior of the house, he got all the stuff up, and I'm like, hey, wait a minute, we got to have the shower. So I knew we needed to go ahead and get it, and it was just perfect timing because Marycarl and I could run over while you were ill and pick up the shower and take care of, some things that we needed to take care of that day. And, oh, goodness, then the video was messed up.
And I remember asking Brent, too. I said, look, I don't have the shower. We're going to try to go get it. And he's like, oh, it's no problem. I can get it in. No problem. So don't worry about that. And I think that's why he left that one wall open.
Yes, I think you're right.
So they could put the shower through there and then get it on the bathroom.
Well, it lifted my mind knowing.
Oh, yes, because it was holding him up,
and plus,
to some degree.
It's not, I needed the 20-foot trailer. I didn't need to just put it in the back of the pickup truck because it was a 3x5 shower, and the wheel wells would not allow it to sit properly. Right. So I pulled the trailer over there, and, so it was kind of a bit of planning. It wasn't like we could just get in the truck and go get it. We had to hook the trailer up and da-da-da. And so Marycarl and I made a day out of it, and back up one day. Jason was sick, and it was storming all day Sunday.
Yes.
Remember that?
It was.
And you were sick. You weren't feeling well. Marycarl was doing pigeon stuff. And the sheetrockers were supposed to be there Monday.
Supposed to be there on Monday.
So I knew that prior research told me that we needed to get one coat of sealer on the concrete floors to protect it from the drywall dust, the sheetrock mud, all the stuff that can get into the pores of the concrete that make it hard to remove it. So Saturday afternoon, I started cleaning Mama's floors, which were not all that dirty, but it did take a lot of mop water.
Right.
And I didn't use any chemicals. I just used water.
And that's what they told us to do.
Yeah.
You know, for good, best thing is just pure water.
Because we didn't want to take up any absorption from that sealer.
Right.
If by using a chemical.
Right. Right.
So just water.
Just water.
Use lots of water. And I bought one of those big commercial buckets from Walmart, which is what you and I had talked about previously. And so I spent Saturday and part of Sunday prepping. I had the big shop vac and got in between the crevices where they cut the stress marks. Scrubbed it because I could see a little foot traffic, you know, from coming in and out. And Sunday, I stained it. I started sealed it.
Yep.
Not stained it. I started with a paintbrush by going around the edges of the wall because Mom's is framed in the interior, which I would have liked to have done it before the framing of the interior was done, but that didn't work out. So I read to take a brush, go around the edges. All right, I did that. I wore this big ventilator mask, and it looked like I was going into a chemical.
Yeah, it was a respirator pretty much. It had the big filters on the side of it. So yeah, it was a legit, for real, hardcore mask.
And I have had that mask for years, but I had some replacement filters, so I cleaned the mask really good with vinegar prior and made sure there was no dust left in it, and I replaced those filters because I had some new ones.
Right.
So I put new filters on there. That was a couple of days prior, so I would be good to go when it came time. Wore that respirator. Then once I got finished cutting in with the brush, I had me a pan. That's what Marycarl and I went to Walmart for.
That's right, to go
Saturday
get the pan.
afternoon when you were sick.
Yep.
I had to get a new pan for my sealer.
Yep.
So I got it all poured in the pan and started rolling it, and it went just, oh my gosh, it was incredible how good it looked immediately.
Yes.
And I was so pleased with the process and how quick it went. And I came back in the camper Sunday evening or Sunday afternoon, and you said, "You've been sealing that floor." And I said, "How do you know?" And you said, "I smell it."
I can smell it on your clothes.
You can smell it on my clothes. Well, of course, I didn't smell it myself because I'd been, exposed to it. Marycarl said, "Mama, take your clothes off. You're going to make my birds sick." And so I did, but I put them back on when I went back out to finish the job. And Monday I was fine because I sealed them on a Sunday. Monday I was fine. And I was actually kind of hesitant about it because I felt like, as strong as you said the chemicals were, that I wouldn't be fine Monday.
Right.
But
even though you had the respirator on. Yeah.
Yeah, I said, Monday morning I woke up and I said, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I went ahead and did that.
Right,
even though we found out the sheetrockers couldn't come that day because materials weren't delivered. So, go through Monday with you still being sick, and Tuesday morning, I was fine.
Yep.
About lunchtime, I started getting a headache.
Yep.
And I was like, well, toot. Because I tend to have migraines, but this didn't feel like a migraine. It was usually my head, when I have a migraine, it hurts above my eye. And this was like a pressure headache in the middle of my head. And I thought, oh, great. I knew I hadn't picked up anything heavy. I knew it wasn't coming from my neck strain or whatever. And so I just, kind of took it easy Tuesday. And Wednesday, I still had the headache.
Still had the headache on Wednesday.
You were better.
And I was better. I was fine on Wednesday.
And so I felt like, oh my gracious, we have things we need to do.
Yeah.
I need to be out helping. We need to be playing catch up. And here I am down with a headache.
Yep.
Well, it was debilitating type headache.
It was. It knocked you out. And it just got progressively worse. Thursday, you were really bad.
Thursday, I was really bad. I do have some migraine medicine that I've had for a long time, and I don't like to take medication unless it's, down to the wire, which I was getting there. So I took the migraine medication, and it helped a little bit, but it still came back. It still wasn't gone. And Friday, we had the party in the potager.
That's right.
At Tracy's, and we were all planning to go. Like I said, I had taken care of the food from the Flying Peach from that Saturday. We were going to have barbecue.
Yes.
Pecan cobbler.
Peach cobbler.
And then, just a fun day of a get-together. So I got up and I got dressed, but I didn't feel like it. And so I had a stress on myself trying to figure out what to do. because I didn't want to miss it. You know, I didn't.
Right.
That wasn't in my cards to not go.
Right.
But you and I decided that it may be best if I stay home.
Because we had the event at Pedals with a meet and greet.
And people were coming from so far away.
Yes.
We had already been told previously that people had registered from Illinois,
Indiana, Michigan, Arkansas, Kentucky,
Daytona Beach, Florida.
Yeah, they were coming from all over the place.
So,
and it was over 400 registrations.
That's not including the extras that didn't register.
Right.
But we didn't know about that. So I decided, with your help, that it may be best that I just kind of lay low on Friday, and it's a dang good thing I did.
Because you were 100% on Saturday.
I was 100% on Saturday.
Yep.
And I didn't feel like doing anything Friday. Even after y'all left, I literally just laid around all day, which is not me. I was fighting at myself saying, you know, please be better. I don't want to be like this. But sometimes we just have to wait things out.
Yep.
It was the best thing.
It was. It was.
Y'all had a wonderful time.
We did. It was all our friends that we're friends with, and it's Tracy and Jean from Just Dig It Farm, and then of course the Blairs, Wes and Angie and his kids from the Naked Hog, and then Greg and Sheila from Hoss, and Jason and Lauren from Cattywampus Acres,
and Jacqueline and Zach and Eleanor from Head Family Farm.
And we just had such a wonderful, wonderful time. And
so I told
fun.
Jason when he left, I said, y'all just go and have a fantastic time. Don't worry about when you get home.
Mm-hmm. I guess the thing was close to 10 o'clock when we got home.
I was fixing to say, the event started, Tracy had a start time at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
And so y'all left out about 12 so you could pick up the food and head over to Tracy's. And you did check in with me several times to make sure I was okay, but y'all came rolling in about 10 o'clock.
We did. It was a good time.
It was a good time by y'all, and I'm just glad that y'all went on and had a good time. And I'm also glad that I stayed home.
Yeah.
Because I would not have been able to go Saturday.
I agree 100%.
So I went to bed Friday night just grimacing, just thinking, please let me be better tomorrow. Please let me be better tomorrow. And I woke up Saturday morning and poof.
You was great.
I was good to go.
You were good to go, 100%.
I was good to go, and I felt like just the biggest weight had been lifted off of me. Because it would have been like you with the stomach bug. I mean, of course you wouldn't have went and exposed anybody to it. But Marycarl and I beat that stomach bug. We never had any effects from it, and here I was with a headache.
Yeah.
I kept thinking to myself, am I having a headache from the virus maybe, and I just don't have any other symptoms? But that wasn't what it was.
That wasn't what it was. No, it was either just your typical migraine that maybe just came up, or it could have been the chemicals
triggered the migraine. Yeah. But regardless, I'm back. I'm 100%. You're 100%.
Yep.
We're not planning on letting this happen ever again.
That's our plan.
That's our plan.
We're sticking to it.
We are. It's good to have a positive plan.
Oh my gracious! But the event yesterday was unbelievable. I kept telling you, Brooke, they're telling me over 400 people are registered. So it's going to be a pretty big crowd. And I think you just had in your mind that it was Alabama.
Yeah.
And that it was not going to be. This wasn't some big homesteading expo.
Yeah.
Conference, this big thing, so not that many people are going to be there, and
I'm glad I thought that.
We were blown away. It was, at some point we were told that it was a 3.5 hour wait to meet us, which just blows our mind.
I can't.
It was supposed to start at 9, but they had opened the gates up a little early, and we were
actually late for the show.
We were actually there at 8:30 and trying to help set up, and the line was forming, and so we're like, we just started meeting people.
Yeah, that's right.
And we could see that the line was getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and then the line was getting in the sun, and so we just literally just kept walking further and further down almost at the end of Pedals from the Past.
Yeah.
When they had us in a great spot.
Yeah, they did.
And we're trying to move the whole crowd into the shade, which we did a pretty good job of, but it just kept getting bigger, and the shade was only so much.
I felt so bad because there were people standing in the sun, and and I don't know. I wish we could have done something to make the crowd be more comfortable.
Yeah, I do too. I don't know what else we could have done.
There's really not anything we could have done except for maybe set up a sprinkler system or something like that. But I felt so bad. I felt like I just need to go down and just one by one just meet everybody, and I couldn't do anything.
Right.
I couldn't make people move faster because I wanted to hear everybody's story.
Right.
And I don't know. We did the best we could.
We did the best we could, and for the most part, I didn't hear a single person complain.
I didn't hear anybody complain either.
It was so amazing, well, it really was, and we wanted to thank everybody that showed up yesterday.
Yes,
and came to see us. It was just so awesome. It really was.
I must say that Jason kept saying that he thought it was going to be a little bit bigger than I was thinking, and I was like, Jason, you're going to see, because I just have been to Pedals from the Past so many times, and I think I just thought it was just another day, and I actually thought that we would be able to walk around and see the vendors, and that I would be able to see Laura from Simply Making It because she had a tent and a station set up there, and I didn't even get to speak to Laura. There was
a lot of friends that came. There were other YouTube homesteading channels that came to to talk to us. Just to say, hey guys, and they couldn't even do it.
I know. I felt so bad. The Perry Hill Farm.
Hill Farms.
She
and
said,
Hidden
"I'm not."
Oak Farms.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was, or Hidden Oak Homestead.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah. It was crazy.
But literally, if there had been anything we could have done to make the crowd more comfortable, we would have done so. It started at 8:30. We didn't eat lunch. And we shook our last hand at 4:30. Yep. Sure did. We had lunch delivered to us, but there was no way we could stop meeting people. And I didn't feel comfortable sitting there with a sandwich in my mouth talking to people.
Right.
So we hung out and we stood the entire day and didn't eat lunch until about 4 o'clock. Made sure we drank plenty.
We were constantly drinking, and people in our big buddies over there, Jason, especially Jason was on top of her from Cattywampus. He would come over there periodically and say, y'all need some water, need something to eat, and I'm like, get us some water. I said, okay, and he'd bring. So they were great. Everybody was great. Everybody was wonderful.
Great. Far exceeding my expectations.
Yes, it did. It was unreal. It was completely unreal, and the weather was beautiful yesterday.
It was. You couldn't have asked for better weather.
And then Pedals had us dinner. Supper yesterday evening.
Yes, and I'm gonna tell you, I felt so bad at that event. I felt I was sitting down, and I didn't know. I saw these ladies coming in and out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I wanted to help. I just felt like nobody needs to be preparing us dinner.
Yeah.
They weren't necessarily doing it for us. It was for the whole Pedals community.
The whole Pedals employees and then the YouTubers that came.
Yeah, but I felt so bad. I felt so bad not going in there and cooking, and
right.
I just wanted to lend a hand. So
yeah,
I ate and I enjoyed it, but
it was good.
I still felt like I needed to do something.
It was awesome. We had just an awesome weekend. And I just couldn't be more happier about it and humbled. It just blows our minds, y'all. It really does.
There were so many nice people that we met.
Oh, it was just.
There was no negativity. There was. No. It was just. Had one person say that I've never stood in line this long in my life except for one time, and I'm like, okay. Ooh. I don't know that I was standing in a line this long either, but who did you wait for? And they said, Elton John. And boy, I said, oh my gracious.
Oh, it was so funny. Yeah, that was just
John.
Elton John. How crazy is that?
It is. And so many people said that we were the same in person as that we are on camera, and that's us.
Yeah, that's the biggest compliment we can get.
That's the biggest compliment we can get, and we will never change. I will tell you that. Yep. We are who we are, and I'll never get out of that wanting to help, and feeling like nobody should help. Nobody should try to do for us because I don't know. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, yeah.
Just like them preparing the food. I just will never feel like anybody owes me anything.
Right, yeah. I'm the same way. Absolutely the same way.
Nobody owes me. And I understand that our followers, our viewers enjoy our content, and I'm thrilled that you do, and I hope you continue to do that. But it's just amazing to me.
It is.
It's just amazing. It's all because of you.
Oh, it's all of us.
It is all because of you.
It's all of us. Whew, man, that was a great day. Great day. And I think Pedals had an awesome day. I think it blew their expectations out the water
it did.
From the feedback we got yesterday.
And we really didn't know how they felt about the event after it was over. You know, we didn't know if it was too much, if it was what that they kind of bargained for.
Well, I tell you, to not have, because we've seen it. We've gone to 2, and we've seen what can happen. And for this to be an event that's not a homestead event, that's not an expo, this is a nursery that does antiques in the garden every year where they have vendors. And so it's kind of like a market day type thing.
Right.
For them not to see how big it can get, to be that well planned.
Oh, it was awesome.
And had it there was no hiccups whatsoever that we heard. Plenty of porta potties everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it was
had us in the perfect location. We were there, and we wasn't right next to the vendors or anything, so there was no congestion. It was really awesome.
I don't feel like we were a hindrance to people that were there to see us.
Not to see us, exactly.
And I don't feel like that they were a hindrance, the people that were there to see the antiques in the garden from the YouTube.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it just worked out.
It was perfect. And they had us in such a shady location, too.
I'm thankful for that because it got hot yesterday.
Well, originally they were going to put us by the pond, which is a beautiful spot. Absolutely gorgeous spot, but there wouldn't have been that shade. That shade wouldn't have been there. But what had happened was all that rain we had prior had made it so soft there that it would have turned into a mud hole, and everybody would have been out in the sun. So it worked out for the best.
It did. I'm glad for that rain because otherwise we would have been burning. And I got a little sunburn.
Yeah, we both did. And we were in the shade.
I brought my hat yesterday, but I left it in the car because as soon as we started unloading stuff, we saw the line forming.
The line was forming.
And I literally didn't have a chance to go back and grab anything. It was like, it was on.
It was on.
It was on like Donkey Kong.
It really was.
When we saw that line start to form, we knew what we were there for at that point.
Yeah, we knew what we were there for.
And it was incredible. And I reached out to Jason from Pedals from the Past last night, and I said, I hope everything went as planned and that there were no hiccups on your end that you wish that we had not done this. And he said absolutely no regrets. He said it worked out perfectly. He said for the both of us, I think it just was smooth.
And then Tracy told me last night that he asked, do we want to do it again? Because he was ready to
There's
go
the
ahead.
Evidence.
He was ready to go ahead and lock us in for next year.
There's the evidence right there. Enough said. If he said that, then he was pleased.
And she want to know what I thought, and I was like, this is fun.
It's just right down the road from us, and
it's so easy for us.
And this is our community, and that, I mean, I hate to say this, but I was thrilled when I saw people that I had never met from our county.
Yes.
I had never met these people,
and never
they
been to
came
Pedals.
to see us. They'd never been to Pedals.
Never been to Pedals.
And introduced themselves and said, "Hey, I'm your new neighbor."
Yeah.
And we were like, "Oh my gosh,"
And not only did they were happy to welcome us to the community, they were like, "We had no idea this gorgeous nursery that is the staff is." When I say they're friendly, you do not know how friendly these people are until you go there.
They are spot on with their knowledge. They don't mind helping anybody.
Jason kept telling me, I know you're exhausted. I said, Jason, we're exhausted. You probably talked to just as many people as we did.
Exactly. And their entire staff.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that they knew what they were prepared for because they had this event, every year. And we were just honored to be a part of it.
And we were. It was awesome.
I told several people that nursery we kind of take for granted.
Yes.
It's been known to us for as long as we have been interested in plants.
Forever.
And we just don't realize the gem that we have until we hear other people say we don't have access to anything like this.
If I'm not mistaken, Pedals is 28 years old.
Is that right?
I'm almost positive that's right. Somewhere around the mark. So almost 30. Yeah.
Gosh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So as long as we've liked plants, Petals has been there.
Petals has been there.
And, as long as we continue to plant, I believe it will continue to be there. But we are very blessed to have a nursery with such knowledgeable employees and wonderful variety of plants.
And this is what's been so big for me lately, especially. We're a pretty big channel in this niche.
Yes.
And so the fact that we can give back.
Yeah.
It's just really just opened my eyes up so much lately.
Yeah.
Over the last 6 months or so, I just can see it, and that we can actually make an impact and help other people that we love, and just by being us.
Yes.
And the fact that Petals had an awesome day yesterday.
Yes.
All those, I hate to say smaller YouTube channels, but they are. But they're our really good friends, and we don't look at them like that.
No.
They're gonna get a big boost.
Right.
Our dear friends over at the Flying Peach, the last 2 days, Friday and Saturday, yesterday, they've had huge just crowds of people, and just the fact
love them.
We just
Tammy
love
and Derek,
that
they're just awesome.
That we're helping these people that we love and that are friends, and that it's just it makes me so happy, so happy.
I say this sometimes, but not to toot our own horn, but we don't have a stingy bone in our body.
Right.
Neither one of us, and I think that is what has allowed us to get partially where we are today. It's that I just have no hesitation in helping anybody.
Right.
And I mean that sincerely. I want to help everybody I possibly can. And if I could help everybody in the whole world, I would love to. But however, that's not possible. But by being here and hearing people's story that you helped me get through 2020.
Gosh. Yes.
And we all know what that was. I'm not going to talk about it. But
so many people reached out to us yesterday.
Everybody was locked down. Everybody has their own story. It's just amazing to hear that we help people. And that's what we feel like we were put here to do.
That's right.
It's to help people. If we can make you smile and take your mind off all the bad in the world, then we have succeeded.
We've succeeded. And then, that just, all of it just makes me so happy and complete.
It just all falls into a puzzle that feels like it fits.
Yeah, it does.
It all feels like it fits. And, I don't know. You just talk. I don't know. I forgot how to talk.
You forgot to talk?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
you
hoarse.
That, don't
I'm
you?
hoarse from yesterday.
I know you are. I'm not hoarse.
I woke up this morning, and my voice is coming back. First thing this morning was really bad. I mean, it was hardly nothing coming out my mouth.
Wow.
it was really, really. But I don't know. I say we're used to it. The after effect, because we've done. This is our third one. So I kind of know what it's going to be like, and I knew yesterday that we're going to be exhausted today. I knew the night we were going to crash. We're going to be exhausted a little bit more this morning.
But I'm going to tell you one thing. I woke up this morning with a smile on my face.
Oh, I did too. Yes, I did too.
Just knowing, just hearing everybody's story. And I will tell you that when I woke up, I looked at my phone.
Yeah.
And I had a text from Tracy.
Uh-huh.
And I looked at the timestamp, and it was like 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it was a picture from y'all being at the party in the Protege Friday.
Yeah.
And timestamp, 7 o'clock, okay?
Yeah.
I slept till late. Well, we won't say what time, but I slept late this morning. And do you know what my response was?
What?
I put a heart on the picture.
Yeah.
And I responded, "Why are you up so early?" And I don't know if she's responded or not.
Oh, that's funny.
Tracy is a hardworking lady.
She is.
And
she really is.
Had a well-oiled machine.
And that was all her idea.
It was.
The whole meetup and everything. She put all that together. The party and the protege, that was all her. It was all her. And Jean, her husband, they just knocked it out of the park. Thank you guys.
Yes, they are awesome people.
Awesome.
As we've shared once and time again, they're awesome people. Everybody that we have suggested that you guys watch and hang out with are awesome people.
Yeah, so. It was awesome.
So I don't know if Tracy's planning on taking a nap this afternoon.
She probably needs to.
But I sure told her, I said, what are you doing up at this hour? Why are you up?
She probably needs to.
Why are you
up?
No doubt. So, well, we did have 2 videos last week.
We did have 2 videos last week.
We missed that Monday, and people were very concerned about your health and well-being. And now that we're back on track, we're going to try to have a video out tomorrow.
Yes, we're going to try to have a video out tomorrow. We've already started recording it this morning.
Yeah, back on schedule. So,
and
we want to talk about what happened with the houses this week and what got done as far as the upstairs being done. And
the stairs. Brant completely finished the stairs. He's completely through framing the inside of the house. They started putting the doors in. Still waiting on the big double door to get installed. Got all the windows. Everything's trimmed out. The sheetrockers are on today. Well, the next day will be day 3 of mudding.
Right.
So they're almost finished with the sheetrock.
And y'all stay tuned for tomorrow's video because you will not believe how much the sheetrock. We know we showed it hung in Friday's video, but
the mud on it,
yeah, the difference in
just those little things, just crazy how the mud going on the walls makes it look so much different already.
It does, and oh my gracious, when we did a walkthrough this morning because we didn't see it yesterday.
No,
and they were here working yesterday, so when you and I went through this morning and we saw that. They didn't make a big, gigantic mess with the mud, but there are some spots on the floor.
Yeah, and I'm so glad because you don't think about how big of a mess it's going to be when sheetrock goes up.
It's dust.
It's so much dust,
endless dust,
and then you know the mud because they're having to do the ceiling, so that you're going to have spots that drop, and then when it dries, they sand it. So you have the dust from them cutting it. You have dust from them sanding it. You have the mud that drops. So it is a lot of just dust and little specks of mud here and there. So ceiling I can't imagine us trying to clean it now.
Me either. So that was an eye opener to know that we have to do that with our house before they start the sheetrock. I don't know if I'm gonna be a part of it, but you don't tend to have the problems.
I don't.
From. I mean, it smelled pretty strong.
I don't have the headache problems like you have. Even with smells and strong smells and stuff. So, and you said it was really, really easy to do.
It was so easy. I mean, Marycarl could do it.
So I'm pretty confident I can knock the floor out. I mean, I think I can probably do it pretty quick too. I believe.
Yeah. I did it by myself in a couple of days, and going back, I don't know if I wish I hadn't done it, but I'm glad I did it. Does that make sense?
Yep. I'm glad you did it too, because not we'd be in big trouble.
We'd be trying to get
We'd be in big trouble.
You would never get it out of the pores of the concrete.
There's just no way. Yep.
And so we have the area under our stairs that we talked about in the video that we'll be using for our dog area.
Yes.
They won't be, of course, housed in there all the time.
Right,
but it will be a safe place for them.
Yep.
And it's an awesome idea to put the doggy door to where it goes outside right there because we didn't know where we were going to put it. So I feel like I can talk to the cabinet guy and get him to make like something that goes with the cabinets.
Right.
To allow open area to where the dogs can go in. We can go in through a full-size door, but we want them to have an access. Does that make sense?
Yeah, just a dog door going through the wall that lets them go into the room without leaving the big door open.
Right.
Because where it is in the hallway, it would be.
And I don't want it to look like a doggy door.
Yeah.
I want the part that's inside the house to look like it belongs in the house.
Right.
That goes under the stairwell.
Right.
And
so the dogs can go in and out of their room without using the full-size door.
Yes.
Is what we want to do.
And I did receive, I don't know, email, something. I read it somewhere. I hadn't responded to them, but they said make sure you seal the floor under that stairwell area.
Yes, absolutely.
Because if dogs have incontinence, years go on or whatever, then that can penetrate down in that concrete.
Right.
And the sealer just allows it, hopefully that doesn't happen, but the sealer just allows you to wipe the spill or whatever might happen up.
Right.
So we did plan to do that.
I
appreciate that. And
there were several people that were worried about the doggy door going to the outside of other critters coming in.
Yes, we need to address that.
And at our other house, we had a doggy door. We've never had any issues with any type of animal, unwanted guest coming into our house.
We've never had that issue.
Never.
It will be a fenced-in backyard. Not that a raccoon can't cross a fence. We know that. But we have Foxy, we have Sunny, we have Jewel, and they will all be, in that outer area. I just don't anticipate that we're going to have a problem here.
And the reason why I don't think we're going to have a problem is that we've been here 7 months now.
Yes.
And we've lost 0 animals to predators. So I'm thinking that if we haven't lost an animal to a predator, I don't think a predator, or I say predator, a raccoon or a possum will come into the house. I just not to say that it won't. It may happen. I don't know, but
if they're after food,
there
is a cat house outside that has food
in it.
They're not going to know that there's food in the house.
Yeah.
I mean, when they've got food outside, they could eat chicken food if they wanted to.
That's what I'm saying. I just it hasn't been a problem yet.
But I'm gonna tell y'all, one of my most loved parts of my old house was a doggy door.
Yeah, the doggy door was great.
When we installed that, it was life-changing, and I am not going without one.
Yeah.
If we have a family of 43 raccoons come in that den, I'm still going to have that doggy door.
It is life-changing.
It is
because
wonderful.
You constantly have to let the dogs in and out,
in and out. How to use it already.
And, they already know how to use it. And if the dog wants to go out and say you're in the middle of cooking and you don't know he wanted to go out, then it's going to use, if it sits there for so long.
So you think I'm going to be cooking, huh?
But eventually, the little pup can't hold itself.
That's right. And so they
you
let
have an
theirself
accident.
out.
And then, so now with the doggy door, they just go in and out and say, please.
Even my mom will have a cat door.
Yes.
And she had that previously.
Yep.
On her porch, on her screened-in porch. Yep. So she'll have... Well, hopefully we can figure out how to put the cat door in her house because we don't know exactly where her cabinets are going to end. So once those get installed, Brant's going to go back and put the cat door in the house as well as out the screened-in porch.
Correct.
And we will, like I said, 42 raccoons can make their home in my house, but I am happy to have that doggy door.
Yeah.
I will pat each one of them on the head and say, you can come in whenever you want to because my dogs need that to go in and out. So, beside that being kind of funny, y'all just realize we got to have that door.
Yeah, we got to have the door. I don't think we're going to have any issues with any type of...
But guess what? If we do, there's a locking mechanism on it.
Yeah, it is.
And
we can lock it at night.
They make ones that are accessible by a collar that you put on your dogs.
Interesting.
And when they get close to the door, the collar will remotely send a signal to the door and it will open. So there's bridges we can cross.
I got you.
Ours doesn't do that.
No, ours doesn't do that.
But I don't think we're going to need it.
I don't think we're going to need it either.
So, I don't know. We got a big week ahead, though, I can tell you that.
Yeah, big week ahead. Just sent Brant a text this morning and asked him was it okay for us to let the plumber and the electricians know the house is ready to be plumbed and the electrical to be done. And I did that right before we got in the podcast, so I'm sure he's answered by now. I feel 99% sure that that's a yes, that they can come on.
Yeah, because he said last week for us to let the cabinet guy know, which we did, and the cabinet guy hasn't had a chance. I'm wondering if the cabinet guy is going to deliver Mama's cabinets and measure for ours at the same time.
I don't know. I hope it gives us time to get that sheetrock mud up.
Well, it's going to be done tomorrow, Tuesday.
Okay.
So he could just drop the boxes off and then come back and hang them. But I'm
wondering
and
it's not the finished cabinets. It's just the frame.
Oh, it's just the boxes.
Yeah.
It's what he calls it. He doesn't put the doors on until all the painting's done, the countertops are in, because he doesn't want any scuffs or scrapes or anything like that. So, you know what we didn't talk about?
What's that?
Bees.
Oh, our bees. Our bees are here. I guess I'm sure y'all saw the video about our bees being here, and I cannot be... Oh, I'm so excited.
Thank you, Tanya.
Thank you, Tanya, from Hidden Valley Farm.
Yeah.
And
I don't think it's Hidden Valley.
It is, because it's the same as the ranch dressing.
Okay.
And that's how I remember it. Because you know how I am with names.
Yeah, I was going to see if
it says it on your...
she was going to come by today.
Okay.
Tanya Drake was going to come by, and she they have a place in Clanton as well as in McCalla, and so She takes. Well, they come here. I think about every weekend.
I got you.
To Chilton County.
I got you.
And
so, I'm probably wrong on her name, but that's what I got in my mind. Is it's the same as is ranch dressing, Hidden Valley Ranch.
Okay. Well.
And that's how. Since I can't remember names, that's
you
how
relate to different.
I relate it to different things, and that's how I have to remember it.
Well, that's how I do with Marycarl with spelling words. We aren't so much, learning spelling words as much as she was when she was in school.
Right.
But we would always try to remember.
Oh yeah, in school that's what you would do.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Well, when I was helping her learn.
Not homeschool.
Not homeschool. But anyway, so Tanya has 6
nooks. What's funny?
Somebody sent a pronunciation that it is not a nook.
What is it?
I don't know. I can't remember.
It is a nook because it stands for nucleus or nuclei, almost.
But they said we were saying it wrong.
I'm not saying it wrong. That's how I say it. Nook. I've never heard anybody else say anything but nook.
I haven't either. And when I saw that, I was like, oh my gracious. A nook is a nook is a nook.
I always thought it was a nook.
So Tanya said she was going to come by and add some feed because she has feeders on the top of the hives to make sure that the bees are getting thrived and welcome to their new home before they realize exactly where the next meal's coming from.
They moving though. I'm telling you, I've been over there 2 days, and I'm going to go over there again today too and look at them. They are active. They are blowing and going in and out of the. I don't know where they going to eat, but they are going in and out, and they got plenty, y'all. We got so much. The day I did the video, and I was looking around to record some footage of the flowers and all we had, I was like, there's so much clover here.
It is.
There is so much clover, and she told me they love dandelions. I saw dandelions everywhere. There's the verbenas everywhere, and our cover crop, the radish has made a second boom over there, and they love the radishes. There's so much for them.
Besides the fact that there are the woods that have oaks.
Yes, they love trees. That's one thing that I learned with our other bees is that the bees get a majority of their food from trees, not the flowers that we think of when it comes to bees.
Right.
Trees where trees bloom. And what was the one that they loved so much in our place? Was it the
tulip popular?
The sweet bay magnolia trees we had. That's what they liked so much that I didn't know.
Yeah, it's amazing how well bees can do when you don't have a flower on your property and you just have woods. So we're thankful for Tanya putting her bees here, and we hope for her a bountiful surplus of honey and she's going to move them into some bigger boxes.
Yeah, once they start growing.
Once they start growing.
I don't think it's going to be that long. I really don't.
I don't think so either. And we told her, come and go as you please, girl. You are welcome here anytime to check your hives or whatever you need. And I don't know that we will ever have our own hives again. But, if we choose to, she's here to mentor us, and she will help in any way possible. So I'm thankful to have Tanya.
And if you want to see our hives being formed, when they split the bees and put them in these nooks, our good friends at Chestnut Hill.
Yes, Chestnut Hill.
They are mentoring under Tanya.
Yes, Zoe is learning bees from Tanya, and
she recorded them doing our hives before they brought them here.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Was it going to come out today?
They didn't want to make the video
before we got the bees.
Before we published our video, so I think it's out.
I think it's out.
Maybe you could put a link to it.
I'll try to put the link to it. If not, it's Chestnut Hills. Is it Farmstead?
I was fixing to look it up.
Yeah, it's Chestnut Hill Farmstead, and she had she told me yesterday.
Chestnut Hills Farmstead.
That she had over 3.5 hours of footage that she recorded of them splitting the hives to make the hives that they were bringing over here. So you can actually see them doing that before they make it to Cog Hill.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
That is pretty cool.
So it's like successional.
Yes.
Is that how you say that?
That sounds good to me, girl. You know I am. You could have said something else and I'd agreed with you.
I know you would. But I do think it's nook.
Oh, I feel that's all we've always called it, is nooks. N-U-C-S.
I want to say that she said nuke.
That sounds too much like a bomb.
They could be a bomb if you get too close to them, or if you knock the hive over, or if you do something. So maybe it is nuke.
Maybe it is. It may depend on where you are in the United States. Because you get over to that South Georgia area and it changes from pecan to pecan.
Yeah, you're right. Let me see if I can find it. Pronunciation.
It's short for something though. It's Nook is a short. I thought it was nucleus. I don't know why I think
it's
that.
It's spelled
I'm probably
N-U-K,
wrong.
isn't it?
N-U-K. Bees.
I put in bead.
Bee.
Nook. Maybe that'll come up.
How to pronounce bees in the UK.
Oh, we know how to pronounce
it's
bees.
N-U-C.
How to say nook. Is that it?
Yeah.
Well, where do I make it play?
Just to satisfy my curiosity.
I'm wondering. I've always pronounced it
Nuke.
Nucleus hive.
Nucleus.
Sax is short for saxophone. Mic is short for microphone. Auto is short for automobile.
I keep hearing people say nook like we say it. And I want to say nuke.
I pronounce it nuke.
I pronounce it nuke. We've never heard it say nuke. Never.
Nuke. You guys ain't got no idea what you're talking about. That's what the next comment was.
Yeah.
So I really don't know. I think it depends on where you are.
I think it depends on where you are. Exactly.
We got some bee nooks here at Cog Hill Farm.
I've never heard anybody
say nuke.
But that's because we live in the South.
I think so.
South Alabama.
But I am just not that picky. If I know what you're talking about, it doesn't matter to me how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
All that matters to me is the person, how you're getting it across to somebody.
I think people enjoy the way I talk.
I like the way you talk too.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Do you know that when we had the podcast plan for, when were we supposed to do one last? Last Saturday. Last Saturday.
And then Tuesday. It's supposed to be, Saturday and Tuesdays when we're supposed to.
Marycarl was coming.
Marycarl was coming, that's right.
And she was excited about it, and she kept, Saturday, that's when it was?
Yeah.
She said, Daddy, are you ready to do the podcast? And you said, baby, I'm really tired.
I'm really tired.
And I
that's
said,
when I was coming
Marycarl,
home sick.
I said, let's let Daddy take a nap, and then when he wakes up, then we'll do
right.
the podcast.
That's exactly right. I woke up all right.
What was she going to do the podcast about?
The rollers.
The pigeons.
The rolling pigeons.
Okay.
Or the tumblers. I get them confused.
Some kind of pigeon.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that she will still want to do that podcast.
I think so, too. She don't want to do it today because she's tired.
She's tired. She told me.
She played her heart out yesterday. The last 2 days, y'all. I bet that girl has ran 32 miles in 2 days.
Well,
all them youngins has probably ran 32 miles in 2 days.
Isn't that the truth?
And
here I was.
Blast.
I ran my mouth a lot yesterday, but I didn't get a lot of steps in.
Yeah.
So Marycarl and I had two opposite kinds of physical activity yesterday.
Yeah, exactly right. I could see her. She had a good time. She loves hanging with all those little girls that she only sees every so often, and boys.
Yeah, I was fixing to say
Miles
is a friend
yeah,
too.
It's good. It's good for all of them.
It is, and we're, we can't go to every event,
right?
But we try to go to these events because one reason is because not only do we enjoy meeting our followers,
that's right,
but Marycarl enjoys it.
Marycarl enjoys it.
Now she might tell us, Mama, I don't want to go to such and such. But when she gets there, she's had the best time she's ever had.
She's had the best time. She had a great time at the Protege party.
Yes.
And she had a great time at Pedals yesterday.
She did.
I think all the kids did.
I think so too.
They had such a good time.
I think so too.
Such a good time. Because, it's hard for kids that grow up on a farm and a homestead and all that to
relate to other kids.
To other kids that do, because and when they do, they just have such a good time. I mean,
that's right.
There was no fussing, and they're talking about brothers and sisters, and no fussing and fighting, and just everybody had a great. And you're talking hours of in the sun,
that's right.
playing,
that's right,
and not one fuss. It was awesome.
Not one fuss.
It was
and
awesome.
So she always enjoys it. We enjoy it.
We enjoy it.
We enjoy meeting everybody that wants to meet us.
The next one we have planned is in Milton, Florida.
I don't think you're right about the address.
Somebody
told me yesterday Santa Rosa.
Maybe I'm wrong.
And I was like, Santa Rosa is...
Go to my website. It's on there. You looking it up?
No.
I want to get this right before we...
Yeah. Okay, I'm on the website. I'm on shop, though.
Go to events.
Are you there?
Events, yeah. Gulf Coast Meetup. In Milton, Florida. It's at 8604 Bobby Band Road.
Santa Rosa County Fairgrounds.
Milton, Florida.
Okay, it's Santa Rosa County.
In Milton, Florida.
Yes.
So we was both right.
We were, but Santa Rosa that I know of is a beach.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, that's a really populated area.
Right.
Santa Rosa. You know, it's down by Seaside and
right.
Grayton Beach, but it's in Milton, Florida.
It's in Milton,
and what's
Florida.
the date?
October 28th and 29th. I'm thinking that's a Friday and a Saturday.
Okay.
I'm thinking. I'm not looking at a calendar.
Uh-huh.
And I'm thinking that our thing would be on the 29th.
Well, we'll have
but I'll get more details on that. We are in early stages. It's not official whatsoever. But we are in the early stages of seeing if we can make it happen, and that's go to Virginia for the Homesteaders of America conference too.
Yeah, we got tickled talking about that yesterday.
So we're in early stages of that, and seeing if that we can work that in as well.
28th and 29th?
It's Friday and Saturday.
Saturday.
Yep.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, so I know that we have said in the past we were going to the Homesteaders of America conference, and then we got the word that we were moving a little.
Yeah, and
we were moving the exact time.
And then the year prior I was asked to speak, and then the COVID hit, and they canceled it. So
more details.
We're working at early stages, so we'll announce that if that does become into fruition. Now, I did just lock in with Dutch.
I didn't know if you were going to announce that or not.
Because he's posted it June. I know it's the 2nd and 3rd. I think it's 3 days. But somewhere in there, the 1st of June is going to be the Okie Homestead Expo of next year, and he asked me would we be up to doing it again, and we told him yes. So
sure we are.
That's a good ways off, though. Yeah.
But I ain't flying in no airplane.
Yeah, we've already decided that we're going to drive from this point forward. So,
we're going to drive.
Yeah. Even to the Homesteaders of America, we decided we're going to drive.
Yeah, it's just something that, with what happened to me on the past trip, I have anxiety about it, and I don't want to cross that bridge right now. So, driving it is.
And you love driving.
I love to drive, and besides that, I've never drove that part of the country.
Yes.
So,
and everybody we talked to said it's beautiful.
I'm sure it is.
The drive is absolutely beautiful. Everybody, Greg and Wes, they all said it was a gorgeous drive.
And I'm sure it's a trip to remember. Once you've.
I'm sure, and we wouldn't do it all in one day for sure. We would make
I can drive. I'm good.
Okay. I would be fine with that. I don't know if Marycarl would be.
As long as you let me get some sleep when I stop, then I'm good.
Yeah.
I love to drive.
Good deal.
I'm going to get me a semi one day.
Semi
18-wheeler.
I got you.
Semi truck.
We met somebody yesterday. It was a
husband and wife.
Husband and wife, and they were an older couple.
Uh-huh.
And they drove semis for 4 years?
I think that's what it was, and she had an issue with her eyes and had to stop.
It was just an amazing story. I just grinned from ear to ear listening to her talk about it.
And I've talked about I wanted to learn how to weld.
Yeah.
And Rachel from Hidden Heights Farm sent me a message, and because she can weld, and she's probably the first person I told I'd like to weld.
Right.
She said that she didn't think that I may need to even go to a trade school or college to learn how to weld, because that's more for certification.
Right.
And that really didn't occur to me that that's what you're trying to do,
Right.
because
You're trying to pass
you're trying to get a job.
Yeah.
You're trying to get a job. I don't want a job.
No, you just want to know how to
weld.
weld.
I got a job.
You just want to know how to weld.
I just want to know how to weld. So there have been a lot of messages that have reached out to me and telling me to watch videos, and I'm gonna find me somebody that can teach me how to weld, and it might even be Brant.
Yeah, Brant can weld.
So I think that's my plan. I'm just gonna get somebody that
And tell us what type of welder we need for a beginner out here. Nothing fancy, something that we can just pick up and grab.
Yeah.
If a piece on the tractor breaks, that we can weld it back on.
Don't you be tearing my tractor up. You know I'm not going to tear it up, but don't you tear it up.
I won't tear it up.
Okay. But we need to know how to fix things like that.
Yes, we do.
And I would love to be able to just tack weld some little garden art and some whimsical pieces. And just that kind of thing.
Yep.
Not anything that I need to pass tests for.
Right. Exactly. So we'll
I finished school.
We'll figure that out.
I done with school,
yeah,
except for
too.
homeschool teaching. So,
oh my
when
gracious,
will we be back?
What you mean when we be back?
On this podcast.
We should be back. This is Saturday. We usually do them on Saturday and Tuesday, but see, this pushes us off. So I don't know what we would talk about
Thursday,
if we did it
maybe.
Tuesday. Maybe we do it
Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah.
Thursday, and then Sunday again.
Yep.
That's good.
That'll work.
That's what we'll shoot for.
Okay. All right, then. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Cogcast podcast, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Y'all be good.
Well, it's another one in the books for the Cog Hill 40. Join us again next week for our next edition of the Cog Hill podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.